Welcome back everyone to my very ambitious, if not a little crazy, flipping series. Nearly 2 years ago I started with only one gold piece and I've been flipping, merching, doing anything the Grand Exchange offers to try to earn the most expensive gear for each item slot. So that's stuff like the Elysian, the Torva Full Helm, the Third Age Pickaxe. I mean, altogether my best guess right now is we need to earn 7.7 bill. And that really just hinges on how much the Third Age Pickaxe costs, because I have no idea. We're just guessing. Now, around a month ago, I drastically changed my strategy going forward. Pretty much for all of 2022 up until November 5th, my strategy for making money with the Grand Exchange was simply making investments in items. Now that worked out really well for me at the beginning, but as we got further and further along, things started to stagnate quite a lot. So I made the decision that I was going to switch things up a little bit going forward to add a bit more variety and more consistency to my progress. So I decided to switch to more of a day trading style, where previously I might only open up my offer slot once a day or once even a week in some cases. Now I would have my offers up constantly, monitoring different items throughout the day, buying and selling them in a very quick time frame. I started this on November 5th, and now it's been exactly a month since I started this, and I want to document my progress, my strategy, things that worked and things that didn't, and overall just see how much money we can make this way. Now, in the last episode, to mark kind of the start of this new era, I shaved down my cash stack to exactly 2 bill, just so we could start off with a nice clean amount and it'd be easier to track how much money we made throughout the month. Now the excess that we had was about 400 mil, then we invested that into a alchable item, essentially the blood essence. It physically cannot get cheaper than this because the alch value is 60,000, and we're hoping that maybe throughout the month I'll be able to flip them for like a 2,000 GP profit each. Very slow but consistent, and most importantly, safe. So we started with 2 bill and experimented with a bunch of different items, really just getting my footing here. I haven't done this in a while. And thanks to stuff like the Twistabow, the Scythe, and even the Tumikin Shadow, which we managed to flip a few times, in the first week of using the strategy, I was able to make about 70 mil, which is good, but I think we can definitely improve on that. Now we have a nice selection of items here that pretty well represents what types of flips I've been going for. We essentially have the showstopper items from raids 1 and 2, that being the Twistabow and the Scythe. Usually I'm shooting to try to get at least a mil profit on the Twistabow, and 700,000 or more on the Scythe. Is actually pretty easy to do that. The only issue is the volume for any expensive item has really been cut ever since the GE tax was introduced. Usually through an entire day, like 8 hours of me flipping on the side, I can maybe flip 8 of them, like the full bind limit, but it's certainly not that quick. Now what's really nice about the newer items, I mean Torva isn't that new, but they tend to have really good margins but are a little more volatile. On the Torva plate legs right now, we were able to get a 2 mil profit after tax on a 340 mil item, which is incredibly good. 3 times cheaper than the T-bow and double the margin. We will definitely take that. So every day that I am actively flipping, I'm going to try to take a daily total at the end, so we can kind of see what items we've been flipping. So for November 20th, we had a very successful 24 hours, I think anyway. We made 19.4 mil in profit, a ROI of 0.19%, so it seems bad in that sense. Return on investment not great. Taxes paid, 73 mil on that, so for making that 20 mil profit, we torched 70 mil out of the economy, which is pretty insane. Our best items were the Torva plate legs, which we flipped 6 of them for an 8 mil profit. Super good. The Scythe was pretty good for us as well, getting us around a 5 mil profit. The Twistabow, we got around a mil profit on 4 of them. And we had a few other items as well, which added up nicely. And best part of all, I don't think we lost money on a single flip. Okay, so after selling this Twistabow off, we were able to take a nice tally of our current cash stack profit. So if we claim that, we are up to 2.1 bill, which means we have now made 100 mil since we've flipped over to this strategy. Not bad. Okay, so one item that I didn't really consider at first, but has been working really well for us and is actually a little cheaper than others, the Osmunten's Fang. It's a new item and it's traded a lot, which means you can actually buy and sell 8 of these in a very short period of time. Now on just 7 of them, I actually made 2.4 mil. And this wasn't like some crazy margin just appeared out of nowhere. I was just a bit patient. I noticed throughout the day, the Fang usually fluctuates about a mil up and down pretty consistently, and sure, about 700k of that is a tax, but that still leaves you with around 300k profit, which is pretty damn good if you can flip 8 of them in like half an hour. And that's essentially just what I did, and we're going to make about 2.7 mil on a buying limit of Osmunten's Fangs. Okay, so that definitely worked for us very nicely. Pretty much as soon as I was able to buy more Fangs, I continued to do it. Look here, we just flipped 14 of them. On the first 7, we made about 3 mil profit, and on the second 7, we made about a mil profit, but still 4 mil on 14 Fangs after tax. Pretty happy with that one. Not to mention we continue to get very nice margins on Torva and even the Bow of Fardinen. So over this last 24 hours, we made 20.3 mil, the vast majority of that coming from the Fang, which we flipped 24 of them, and the Torva plate legs, which we got nearly 7 mil on 5 of them. A couple twisted bows once again for about a mil profit, a couple scythes again for a mil profit, and quite a few other things as well, only losing about a mil total on a few different items, but day 2 of flipping, not bad, 20 mil. Now a few months ago, I ditched my old wallet for a Ridge wallet, which is the sponsor of today's video. Ever since I got this Ridge wallet, I have had the pleasure of being able to store it in my houseplants. That's something you're into. It's really that small. The slender design of the Ridge wallet allows it to really minimize the size of everything in your pocket. It can comfortably hold up to 12 cards. Here's my original wallet, this kind of massive thing, and here's a Ridge wallet, which as you can see is quite an improvement. The Ridge line of products are all made with extremely durable materials, which means each product comes with a lifetime warranty, so no worrying, and they're so confident that you'll like it that you can also send it back within 45 days for a full refund. If you're looking to minimize your pocket space further, they also offer the Ridge key case. The key case organizes and tightly holds your keys, which helps reduce key jangling, but also just keeps them nice and compact and together. Now if you're interested, now is actually a great time to pick up a Ridge wallet as they have some great holiday deals. So as always, to make sure that you get the best offer, make sure to use the link in my description, ridge.com/flippingosrs, and right now you can get up to 40% off. That's ridge.com/flippingosrs, link in the description. And thanks once again to Ridge for sponsoring the video. Now my strategy for what items I'm kind of looking for isn't super complicated. I'm really just filtering by the most expensive items that are listed on GE Tracker or the Wiki Exchange. And what we're really looking for here is stability. So here's a graph of the Elysian Spirit Shield. This is something that looks very nice to me. Throughout the entire day, the buy and sell price really hasn't changed much, yet there's still room for about a mil to a 2 mil margin, depending on what time you get the items at. If an item is obviously trending upwards or downwards at a pretty significant rate, I'm probably going to avoid the item, because often it's pretty difficult to tell what the reason for the increase or decrease actually is. Here's another great example. Here we have the Twisted Bow price graph. Looks excellent to me just because honestly the price hasn't changed much, yet there's still about a mil margin on average throughout the day, which means if you're patient, you will probably get the margin you want. Okay, we're getting some really nice margins on Torva pieces once again. Bought this one for 337.2 and I was able to sell it for 341.1, so almost a 4 mil profit just on the Torva plate legs. Kind of eclipses most of the other items I'm doing. I mean, a mil on a Twisted Bow is nice enough, but it takes up half my cash stack, so the return on investment on the Torva is much, much better. Now, one thing you may also notice is that investment that I made into Blood Essence, well, it's actually selling off. I dumped it in there for 62,000, which is only 2,000 more than what I bought it for, but it is finally selling, and the idea wasn't ever to make loads of money doing this. I just want something consistent so we could have a nice clean cash stack to start with, but after about 2 weeks, it is finally selling off. So although we've had a couple of really nice flips on the Torva plate legs, we've also suffered a few losses as well. I mean, today is November 25th and we're still up on the day. I mean, we're up 12.8 mil, which is not bad, but we took a couple losses on the Twisted Bow, which dropped us down to a somewhat average daily profit. In my head, I was hoping to make around 20 mil per day where I am actively flipping. Of course, I'm not doing this every single day, but even if I'm doing it 3 or 4 days a week, that's still gonna add up to a lot of money within the month. Okay, Okay, so it's actually been a couple days since I've checked in here. Here's one of my bigger losses of the last couple of days. We actually had 2 sites that we were trying to sell off for 2 days, but the price just kept dropping. We bought them for $385 each, and I think we sold them for $378 after tax. So 14 mil or something lost on those, which is a bit of a bummer. The tax, unfortunately, can screw you a bit. I mean, if the price falls by a couple mil, all of a sudden you're losing a fair bit after the GE takes its cut. So unfortunately, I think this was actually our first negative day in quite a while. With that said though, pretty much all of our blood essence has sold. We're just gonna dump in the rest of it. So this is what our bank value is looking like now. If we take out our original excess amount that we invested into the blood essence, now the platinum tokens were what we sold the blood essence for, which means since we started with this new strategy, we've made 150 mil. So far some nice consistent growth. Now that we've sold everything off, our cash stack is up to around 2.6 bill. And at this point, because we sold off our blood essence, I think we're just gonna start using the cash. We'll use everything we have at our disposal to make as much as possible. And I think pretty soon I might even purchase a new item and lock it in and bring this one item closer to finally reaching our goal. Now the item is probably going to be either the Zerite Vambraces or the Torva Full Helm. Really, this is going to come down to which one I get burned on first. And what I mean by that is, if we buy it and the price drops and I can't sell it, well, I guess I'm just keeping it then. Kind of just a way for me to mentally flip an item that I might not normally. We need both of them either way. So I think it might be time to finally add a new item to our arsenal. Well, first day of December, everyone. No snow where I am, but literally everywhere else in the surrounding area is like a blizzard, but well, I'm not complaining, I guess. The items I've been flipping the last couple of days have mostly been the Elysian, the Zerite crossbow now and again whenever it just decides to be stable-ish, and actually the odd piece of the Missouri outfit, and even a couple Kodai wands, kind of a little bit of everything. This 24-hour session was actually fairly effective. We got 18.8 mil in profit. A large part of that coming actually from the Zerite crossbow, not very common, but we got over a mil in profit per item. We made a decent amount of money on the scythe, a bit of money on the Elysian, and a few other items here and there. Another pretty solid day of flipping. Still haven't really broken new grounds or broken a new record. Well, one new item here I haven't actually tried much at all is actually the Harmonized Orb. Now I got a mil profit on it after tax, but considering the type of item it is, I'm not sure if that's enough to bring me back in again. All of the Nightmare items seem crazy inflated right now, so I'm kind of scared that at any moment the price could completely crash. So for that reason, I'm not sure if a mil is enough to justify that amount of risk, even though I'm buying and selling it pretty quickly. And if we look at today's tally, which is December 2nd, we had a pretty similar day to yesterday, actually almost exactly the same, 18.3 mil profit. The majority of that coming from the scythe, but we also managed to flip 23 Osmunten's Fangs for 4 mil, which is pretty nice. Some Elysians, the Harmonized, somehow 2 Spectral Shields for 1.2 mil profit, not sure what happened there. And we even lost a mil on the Torva Plate Legs, but managed to make it back for another pretty solid day. Alright guys, well I think we have a winner. So I've had these Zerite Vambraces for pretty much the entire day. I bought them, and unfortunately I can't sell them back for a profit anymore. They seem to have dropped in value minutes after I bought them, which, you know, that does happen sometimes. Now, if we look at the graph here, we can see that we bought them for 190-ish, and now they're back down to about 185. So I think instead of taking a loss, we're actually just going to equip this bad boy, and that is going to be our 4th item locked in. There's a couple more things I could pick up here for reasonably cheap, such as the Torva Full Helm once I get a couple more defense levels, and kind of the Elysian, I guess. And that's not really cheap, but we're getting to a place where there's not too much left to hide behind. We're gonna have to purchase a 3rd Age Druidic item and keep it pretty damn soon. Kind of excited for it though. Now, another item I've been experimenting with recently is slower items like item sets. The Ancestral Robe set has been a really good option for me. It's in market enough that, you know, people do buy and sell it, but the margin on it can be quite large. I've consistently been getting about a 2 mil margin after tax on the Ancestral Robe set, and I'm flipping about 2 or 3 of them a day. So it's been working really nicely for me recently. Today I think is actually my best day of flipping since I started back on November 5th. We've just had tons of really profitable flips. I mean, like here's the Elysian we made 1.5 mil on. We flipped that quite a few times. So here's our profit for the day, 25.2 mil. And I think it's actually a little bit higher than this. I have to fix something about the actual profit tracker. I managed to flip 6 Elysians for 9.2 mil in a single day. Really, really good. 10 mil on a single item nearly. The Torva plate legs we got 4.8 mil on. The ancestral rope set, we did 2 of them for 3.4 mil. Torva plate bodies, we did a few of them for 3.3 mil. I was even able to get in on Zerite Van braces for 3.3 mil as well. And we even have a bugged offer in here, I think. I don't think I lost 2.8 mil in a harmonized orb, that's not right. Okay, so after fixing that, we actually made 29 mil in a single day of flipping, which is by far my best day yet. Okay, so I put some offers in overnight and we got pretty lucky. The entire market kind of jumped up 5% or something in the last 24 hours. I'm not sure why. I mean, look at this here. We made nearly 6 mil on 3 ancestral rope tops. That was just pure luck. I just happened to have those in. Super, super nice. And on 2 Osmundton's Fangs, I was actually able to make 3 mil. Unfortunately, I only got 2 of them. But yeah, just on those items alone, my overnight flips, 11.3 mil. Which is kind of insane considering that was a bit of a fluke and really not that many flips at all. So here we finally are, December 5th. It's been a full month since I started my new strategy. Now obviously I was not actively flipping every single day. I'm not even sure if I was actively flipping every other day, but over the last 30 days, I think I did about 12 active flipping days where I was paying attention, making sure I updated offers in a reasonable time frame. So with that many days, how much money did we actually make? Well, for the final day, we ended up making 19.2 mil. That's even factoring in a mil loss on the Basilisk Jaw. Not sure what happened there. So after claiming everything and withdrawing everything from our bank, we're at 2,457 mil cash. But we also have to include our new item, the Zerite Van braces, which is nearly a 200 mil item. So if we include our items in the mix, we are now at 2.8 bill, more or less. And we started on November 5th at 2.5 bill. So in 30 days, I was able to make 300 mil, or about 10 mil on average every day. Now for me, that does kind of track because I only really was actively playing every other day, not quite even. Every day we were trying, we averaged roughly around 20 mil. So yeah, that pretty much adds up. Now for the next month, I'm really going to try to improve this strategy, narrow down certain items I think are going to work well, and see if we can try to bump that up to maybe a 400 to 600 mil month. It's going to be hard, but I think it is possible. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end it off for today. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the new year probably with another episode. See y'all then. Now before I go here, I want to give a giant thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. Thank you to Mitch Reinders, March3258, Prophet of the Boosh, The Hybrid, and Kush Patel for subscribing at the Dragon tier. Thank you once again for all the support. Also thank you to YoYoSup89, Mexos, and NDM001 for subscribing at the Runite tier. Appreciate you all, and of course everyone else who became a member, subscribed, or just watches my video. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.